Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in the Old World, Warhammer Wednesdays. I'm Jim, I'm your GM, and these are my players.
Hi, I'm Roger. I am playing Johann von Erfinder, the human student engineer.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Hagen Ritter von Delbers, the squire to the Knightly Order of the White Wolf.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm playing Gerhardt Akram, who is a wizard's apprentice. Hopefully a wizard.
Hey up, boy gum. I be Mordek, played by Dan, and I be a dwarf trader.
Hi, I'm Colin, and I'm playing Carolyn Rademacher, the human thug.
Hi all, I'm Dan and I'm playing Ilmarin, the elf extraordinaire. He's got a band club with all of the halflings loving what he's playing right now. So I'm just like touring my best life.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Welcome. So this is episode 3. On the previous 2 episodes, our party have found their way to Ubersreich, where they have been promised jobs to act as the Lady Nat's stewards. They got there, they got themselves rooms at a nice establishment. What was the establishment called, anybody?
The Red Moon Inn.
There you go, Red Moon Inn. And yeah, they set up shop there. I believe they went to speak to the Lady Nat and were greeted by a lawyer who they got on famously with, and they were given a job to go and find what had happened to an elven prince. They found an elven prince down in the sewers, already dead. To which they took his body back to the elven lady and got their just rewards.
Thought we had a bath first.
Yes, I believe so. Because
I think Roger explicitly didn't want to have a bath first to make the point of look at us traipsing sewage throughout your pretty home.
No, because it would upset our employer. I didn't give a toss about the elf woman being offended by our smells. You don't want to,
It wasn't even her that caused the most kick up about it. It was the butler fella, well, the lawyer.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not aware. No one told me that was a problem, but I wouldn't have cared. But we don't want to walk sewage through our employer's house.
Fair enough. So should we be marking on some extra cash on our sheets then?
I can't remember.
Because we didn't quite get that far, which is why I haven't done anything with it yet.
What did I promise you?
$1 million gold.
Was
5,000
$1 million gold. 5,000 gold.
I think it was a gold each.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it? 5,000.
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
Gold piece each.
1 gold each.
Johann's just been given a re-roll already. Look, how about that?
Oh, thank you very much.
He's the favourite.
Yeah.
I think the halflings are the favourites.
Yeah, you can't give a reroll to the halflings. Well, you can give them to Jim. Don't do that.
Yeah.
He wants to kill us enough as it is.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'll get plenty of opportunities.
So you returned to your inn later that night after filling the elven lady in with what had happened, and you've had quite a good rest. You had a few beers back at the Red Moon Inn, and you're all woken up by sunlight coming through your windows, through the wooden slats that have been covered up with the windows, and you can hear the cutlery being bashed together downstairs, and smells of cheese and bread, and there's a smell of a strong fish smell. But yeah, the fish smell's taking over everything really. But yeah, it does
it's not
smell.
Fish stew again, is it?
Not the same fish stew, is it? Reheated.
Apparently, Carolyn is hungover.
Okay. So, yeah, up to you guys.
Oh,
So Hagen
So
would go down.
Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say Hagen would have gotten up early and gone down into the inner courtyard and gone through his sword forms, since he knows he's getting close to his knighthood.
I was going to say the last thing I remember was Ilmarin was asking if I knew anything about whether or not an elf print or a dark elf would be able to be imprisoned for a very long time and wake up. And I rolled on it, but I did it off stream. So can I re-roll for that?
I did ask all
Absolutely.
these questions.
Because that was the conversation at the end.
It was indeed.
Bah. Hopefully it works this time. Oh, exactly the same. 2 success levels.
So what was that for? Sorry, Kevin.
To see if I knew anything about like how someone could have been imprisoned, the dark elf could have been imprisoned in that glass coffin.
So a seal of some form, a seal of some form, whether it be around maybe the tomb door or his resting place itself, like the coffin, could have been sealed in some way.
Would I have any way of knowing kind of like how long he'd been there from the description, or not really?
No.
Okay.
The only thought that you might have had on that is find out, who would anybody know about this tomb itself,
Okay.
I assume we would have told the Lady Notch our suspicions that the dark elf from the tomb that killed her friend's husband is the same dark elf that killed the Witchfinder and the Uberstriker guards that we encountered on the road.
Marvin's already told us that.
I don't think we've met Lady Nock yet anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you met Von Gebler again.
Right.
He did. Von Gebel.
Just the help.
He did take notes as you were telling him what had happened, and he was happy to obviously relay that back to the mistress.
Is there a rookery in the town that I can go visit to send a message off to my parents?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, that's what Ilmarin's probably doing. Ilmarin's probably got up early. He's probably heading out to the rookery to go send a raven to his family in Altdorf, who are the envoys, the proper envoys from the High Elves. Because if anyone's going to know, it's probably going to be them, or they might know somebody. So I'm just sending them a message asking about. I forgot his name. It was like Maglus.
Maglus.
That's it. Thank you. My memory's terrible. Yeah, and Nagash, because I obviously have no idea who Nagash is. And so so I've just sent a sort of note saying, Mum, Dad, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. I'm really enjoying myself. It's probably not very elven at all, but they're probably like going to read it and be like, oh, he's hanging around with humans too much. But I'm writing this lovely note and telling them all my adventures that I'm on and how I'm enjoying my life, and I might not come.
Hey, we found a dead elf in the sewers.
Yeah, and I said, I'm going to say, I'm going to say about how we helped recover a dead elven prince, though not aware of what prince he was, but there we go. And by the way, do you know anything about this Malagas, Nagash person? And then I'm going to send that off.
The Nagash person.
And send that off because, I feel like probably someone high up in the Elven courts will probably know what they, may never know, might make it all the way back to the island and someone might be able to tell us. But I've sent that message. That way, at some point, they can come back to us.
I'm going to be downstairs in the main tavern area, eating just bread and cheese again. I'm still not quite ready for anything too adventurous after previous events.
The fish and potato stew that there is a large pot of does smell extremely fishy.
Fishier than last time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
In fact, even your cheese begins to taste like fish, really, because the aroma of this fish and potato stew is that heavy.
Okay, well, if I get away with it, then I'll take the bread and cheese back to my room.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
Franz comes up to you and says, Master Johan, he says, Are you sure you won't try some of our old world famous fish and potato stew?
I've had an upset stomach. I'm starting light.
Ah, this will put air on your britches. It will. Yeah.
I look forward
It'll-
to it once I'm in a better condition.
Well, there's nothing like the fish and potato stew to, get you feeling back to normal again.
I'm sure that's the case. And I'll just kind of go back to drawing in my book.
Okay.
But working on a new design for leather armor that would help protect you from the rain as well as other things.
Oh, I didn't know you were a drawer, Mr. Johan. That donkey looks incredible.
Thanks.
Tell me, do you draw other animals? I've got some chickens out the back, and one of them I'm incredibly fond of. Wendy, yeah, she's been with me a long time, and I'd love it if you could draw a likeness for us, so I could put it behind the bar.
That's something I'm sure I could work on at some point.
I'd be very grateful, sir. Yeah. Maybe you could sign it as well, so if you ever get famous, we could say that you stayed here.
Art
I'd even
isn't
change
my
your room to
speciality.
Johan's. If you ever become famous, I'd change your room to Johan's room.
What if you change it even if I don't get famous, if I draw you the picture? It would help make me famous.
Well, it all depends how good the picture is, I suppose. And I wouldn't mind renting the room with your name on it for a while. Yeah, while you're here, we could put a sign on it saying Johan's room. But obviously, when you go, then we'd change it back to normal. Unless you got really famous, and then we'd make it permanent.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Am I suffering
Fish
any
stew?
ill effects of swallowing feces or whatever that mysterious substance was?
Um,
Out of curiosity. Just...
So you'd expect so, but you're not feeling any effects so far.
Magic.
The smell of the fish stew is bringing back memories of that slightly squelchy, fish spawny sort of liquid gel mass, sort of hitting your face and running into your mouth, sort of thing. And yeah, you do find yourself retching a bit, but it's more out of memory than feeling unwell yet.
It's not a fish. It's something I ate. Or I'm good.
Why don't you try eating some of them fish stew, sir? Yeah, it's likely to clear your insides out. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of worried they're going to clear themselves out without any help, so I'm good. I'm good.
I once knew a man who ate a whole troll, yeah, and then he had some fish stew and he was fine. Raw.
I got my mouth full, so I'm going to go privy.
There's definitely water in your mouth, isn't there?
Find the privy. Or a chamber pot. Anything really.
So, how's Hagen, you're sort of practicing your form and doing your bits outside. You notice coming down the lane towards you is some real nice horses with very grand armored soldiers on them, and they seem to be carrying the Ubersreich symbol on the front of them. And in the middle of these four horses is a carriage with fine horses on as well, and the carriage is real ornate, and it looks really nice. And it pulls up outside the inn. and the door to the carriage opens, and you see Van Gebel get out. Ah, Master Hagen, very good to see you, sir. Very good. Yes.
It is good to see you too, Von Gebel.
Yes. Well. My lady. She's just spoke to me, and she's here now actually. But she doesn't like morning, so she doesn't really like the morning air. So she's staying in the carriage. But you'll have to. She doesn't mean to offend anybody. But anyway, she was wondering whether she could have a word with you and your fellows. Because we have a task that especially after the astounding success that the last mission was. I mean, if I was to criticize, you could have brought him back alive. But other than that, yes,
he was dead before we got to Ubersreich. So.
Yeah, so you could have been a bit quicker. You know what I'm saying? But that's me to criticize or whatever. What I was wondering is, could you gather your fellows together and maybe representative of your group, maybe two of you, would mind coming into the carriage with myself and the Lady Nact?
Absolutely, I will gather a companion, and we will be there presently. So I head back into the inn and look for either Johann or really anybody who's available.
I'm in the main room, so
okay.
You'll see me as soon as you come back in.
Johann.
Hey, the dwarf!
Yes.
The Lady Notch is in. The Lady Notch is in her carriage. Would like to speak with us about a matter of some urgency.
Oh well, let's hope it pays well. I'll say, shutting the book.
One can only hope, my friend. One can only hope.
Where is she?
She's right outside with that weasel Von Gebel. Yeah, I know. But
that guy. All right.
Can you believe it? He actually told me we should have done a little bit better by making sure the dead elf prince was alive when we found it.
Well, he's lucky he's still alive, so
True.
Right,
but
go on.
after you, my friend.
All right, I'll just kind of walk outside. Just holding my book.
Johan, how's it going? We're a long time since we've spoken. Aha, not really. It was last night, wasn't it? But anyway, I'm sure we're going to work a lot together. But my lady would like to see you in the carriage.
Indeed, and I'll kind of go to get in.
And he sort of scurries over to the carriage and he opens the door and he are you ready? Are you ready for the gentleman yet? Okay. Gentlemen, if you would. And he sort of offers you space in front of him and the steps that go up to the carriage.
Yeah, I'll just go straight in.
I will follow behind.
There is a very well-dressed lady in front of you. There's a lot of fragrant air in there. It almost makes you retch. There's that much perfume and scent in there. And the lady sits there with an handkerchief over her nose that she's holding. You must be Johann.
Yes, I am. A pleasure, my lady.
Yes, I'm glad you could make it down here. I do apologise. The smells of the street down here, it's sometimes a little bit too much. And who is your friend?
This is my good chum Hagen, squire to the Order of the White Wolf.
Milady, it is a pleasure.
Would you mind taking a seat? And you both sit, like she offers you the seat opposite the bench. It's quite a large bench. At that point, Von Gebel sort of ushers himself in, walks into the middle of the carriage sort of thing, and then sort of moves himself in between yourself and Hagen and sits down and sort of sits nodding at you. Yes, yes. Well, the lady would like me to speak for her as to my friend. So there is a large contingency of Bretonnians on the outskirts of Ubersreich, and they've been getting more by the day. But what we would like is we would like to try and meet with their leaders, and maybe sort of find out what their intentions are. So the lady was going to hold a ball, and she would like you to go and oh, do get on with it, Van Gogh. She would like you to go and invite the Duke, who is the leader of the Bretonnian army, to this ball. And he may bring a small entourage with him.
Okay. Do you have the details of the ball? I'm sure they will wish to know where and when.
Yes, it will be in a 10-day time.
Do you have an invitation for me to pass on?
There'll be no need for invitation. Just simply give him, and she reaches over and gives you a signet. He's to bring that with him, and that will get him through.
Very well. It'll give me an opportunity to practice my Bretonnian.
Yes. Now, I'm sure I wouldn't ask you to do something for nothing, and I know that you fight for every scrap that you get. So I'm willing to pay, obviously, for this small task. Shall we call it, a gold crown each?
How far away are the Bretonnians away from Ubersreich?
It's about a day's ride.
Okay, very well.
It's on the south road. If you leave Ubersreich and head south, you're not going to be able to miss them because they're quite a number.
Do you know the name of the person we need to invite?
Yes, he is the Duke Sanguinaire.
Okay, well, we don't have horses, or most of us don't have horses, so we will have to go by cart. But we will head out promptly.
Okay, that would be fantastic.
Are they expecting us?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
My lady,
but maybe if you travel under the banner of Parley, then they will accept you into their camp, and you can negotiate.
my lady, one quick question: is the Duke Sanguinaire associated with the Chevaliers de Sang?
There have been sightings of that order, yes, but we're not sure whether they're acting alone or with the Duke.
Thank you very much for that information, my lady. Well then, Johann, shall we get to it? A brisk day's ride.
We won't keep you any longer, my lady. Pleasure. I trust we will see you upon our return.
Indeed, and I would like to also say that you are all invited to the ball as well. I'll get your invitations get sent to you. You have to understand, though, that I'll be sending you a clothing allowance for you to get yourselves looking respectable.
That's much appreciated, my lady. We didn't prepare ourselves for such formal events.
Yes. Well, rumor is that you're traveling with a dwarf.
We are.
Oh. Yes. Well, if you feel like you want to leave him at home, we're not going to force him to come to the ball. But they are good allies of ours, and we do respect them. And we wouldn't want to insult him. I know that the dwarves sometimes look on dancing and singing as a bit of
Well,
Um,
we
a
will
non-starter.
allow him to make that decision.
Absolutely.
A dwarf may
yes,
take
I'm
that
sure.
as a slight if I suggest.
Oh
such
no,
thing.
that's the last thing I'd want to do. Yes, but yes, I believe Von Gebel mentioned a soap allowance as well.
Yeah, yes, he did, milady.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I will make that available as well.
You are quite generous. Thank you.
And
Um,
may I ask how much these allowances are so we can prepare ourselves?
I'll just make a couple of my well, not my favourite shops. That would be. I will make the market aware that you intend to travel down there, and
You'll
Von
open a
Gebel
tab
will.
for us.
Yes, Von Gebel will come down and he will look over the transactions, so to speak.
Very well.
Well,
Well,
Van Gebel, if you will excuse us, we will be about our business.
Yes, of course. So yeah. Sorry. And he sort of squeezes out from the two of you, and pushes sideways out the carriage, opens the door, walks down the steps, and holds it open for you, gentlemen.
yeah, I'll just kind of, until we meet again, my lady, bow and walk out.
And she sort of nods at both of you, and as you come down the steps, Hagen, he sort of bows sort of to you. So warrior, it's good to see you again. And as you walk down, Joanna, he sort of slaps you on the back and says, "Oh, it's good to see you again, Joanna. I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of business going forward. Yes, I'm sure that we'll become great acquaintances. Yes."
I'll just kind of look at him, quirk an eyebrow, and walk off.
See you later then, Johan. As soon as you get back, come and knock on the door and we can do something together, maybe. Whatever. Yeah, I'm sure you're busy enough, but we can sort something out.
Yeah, I don't acknowledge him. I just keep walking.
But he clambers back up into the carriage, and the procession moves off and back down the lane.
Finally, back onto the open road.
Yes, much better. At least we can go and see a bit more of the area.
But Bretonians.
I know.
Hey up, manlings, what be going
Savage
on?
folk. We've been given a task by the Lady Nut. We are to go and invite some Bretonians to a ball.
Bretonians?
I know.
Can I
We
say-
don't like mixing with those barbarians, but
Can I stumble out of the
A lot of
privy
them be
as
more
these guys
poncy
are
than
having
the
a
elf over
conversation?
there.
let's not get carried away.
Hopefully it's not in a sewer this time.
However, we are all invited to the ball ourselves, including yourself, Master Mordek, if you wish to join. I know music and dancing aren't necessarily
A
your
ball?
thing. However, of
A
course,
ball,
you
lad?
are invited.
A ball?
Indeed.
They're likely to have good ale at the ball.
Ah,
They should have good alcohol there.
Can I ask, out of character, does anyone remember what our actual daily allowance off these guys was? Because they were paying us every day.
I don't remember.
We've been promised like a shilling a day,
Shilling a day
as a
or something.
retainer, and then
And then, that was it.
Fees for
Yep.
Because that's
1 shilling a day.
significant at the rate we're currently at. I'm also curious as to how much like a clothing allowance and soap allowance actually comes out to.
I think we'll
I think
figure
we're
it out
getting
later.
that in clothing and soap rather than.
Works too.
Probably like a tab at the bathhouse or something like that.
However, the positive of going to invite these Bretonians is we are being paid a gold each to do it.
I'm really confused by it. Carolyn is just kind of, well, she's still somewhat hungover, but is also really confused by the idea of her going to a ball.
And
It'll-
they intend
hey
to.
up, lass, would you be needing another drink?
A bit of the hair of the dog to get you on the road.
Where I'd be coming from, they call it hair of the dwarf. Or the Dowie. Got the hair of the Dowie.
There's plenty of hair on a Dowie, so I can see where you're coming from. Probably also not a lot of dogs.
Sure, why not?
What you need, lass.
Ugh.
What you need is a good stout. Got all the goodness of a full breakfast that has.
Basically liquid bread.
Exactly.
So
While this
apparently-
conversation is going
Yeah.
on, Hagen will go out and saddle his horse.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll fill Mordek in the details as to where we've got to go because we're obviously going to need the cart to get there.
Apparently,
Right.
Carolyn has been talked into trying to chase away her hangover with more alcohol. Because that's always a good idea, right?
Always
Would you like to make
hey,
a consume alcohol roll, Colin?
Sure. See if I'm all better than last time.
Hey up. How long do we think we'll be on the road for?
That's a day out and a day back. So
Then we'll be needing some supplies.
yes.
I can do you some fish stew if you want.
One success level.
Can you give us a small barrel of ale to go, lad?
Apparently, it's
Yeah,
working.
I'll-
She's feeling a bit better for a bit more alcohol.
Yeah, I can certainly sort something out for you. Yeah.
Excellent.
There, if the dog worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sort you a couple of barrels out. Yeah, it's a bit rough, but yeah, it'll keep you up and about.
That's what I like to hear, lad.
And he comes out from behind the bar with these two small barrels, and it's on
Stick
the
'em in
side
the
of it,
cart.
but it's been etched Goblin's Gullet.
Manling, I'm not sure you're Brandon. But I'll be having your brew.
Carolyn will lug him over to the cart and
Yeah, we'll look at me.
set him up.
Hagen
You
brings
want
the
some
horses
fish stew
around.
to take with you?
What was that?
Would you like to take some fish stew with you? It tastes just as good cold as it does hot.
I believe
Believe
you,
you.
but we've already sourced rations. Thank you.
I have a feeling you're making a mistake.
Have you
The fish
considered
stew.
getting any proper meat? Yep. Any proper meat there, Manling? Like beef. Like some good old fashioned cow.
What's wrong with fish?
I would have imagined dwarves would be into mutton.
Mutton and goat, probably.
Goat, mutton. These are all red meats there, Master and Keeper. They don't
yeah.
be things that swim underwater like.
They do eat fish.
But this be a personal preference that I prefer a bit of red meat than a bit of wriggly water fish type thing.
It keeps well, fish. Keeps for days. You know, it's such good stuff.
Hold up. Master Innkeeper, lad. Be that
Call me
be-
friends.
Call you what?
Friends.
Friends, lad. Be that the same fish stew you had on yesterday.
We have the same fish stew on every night. The chef, he only knows one sort of recipe. But it's a good one.
Right. I'll be in the cart if anyone needs me.
I'll follow him out.
But he does do one now and again with the heads in. He keeps the heads in because apparently they're a bit of a delicacy. Although I'm not down with that. I'm not really one for fish heads. Yeah. You know, tends to get stuck in your teeth.
Go
Yeah,
out
so
to the
while they're
cart
having
and
that
be slightly less hungover sitting in the cart.
While they're having that discussion, I will have gone into the market to buy some rations.
Okay.
You know, like
Hagen's harnessing up the horses to the cart and getting his own riding horse ready so that we'll be ready to go as soon as everybody assembles.
You know, some.
Okay.
I mean, it's the Empire, so it's got to be some sausages involved somewhere.
Are you gonna buy
Yeah.
quality rations, or are you going to buy sort of fairly standard stuff? You are feeling a bit flush at the moment with this, newly paid job.
I mean, not like top quality stuff, not like seriously fancy food, but not like peasant stuff. Kind of mid tier.
Silver tier.
Yeah, for 5 shillings each, you can get some really good stuff.
5 shillings each is a lot.
It is very good.
It was a day out, a day back. We're going to pay a shilling a
But
day.
normally a day's
Getting, like,
a day's
a week's
provisions
worth of
cost.
wages for
Yeah, I mean a
1
day's worth of
rations.
provisions normally cost like 10 pennies, so 5 shillings is a huge amount.
Yeah, I mean, this is me, not as the market keeper, but trying to push some better stock on you.
Is it like
you can
Elven
go for
whey
your-
bread or something?
Yeah,
for
well,
that
you
price?
can get your hardened bread and your cheeses and
Basically,
yeah.
I want bread,
Cow
cheese, and
jerky.
sausages.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, a shilling each will get you something reasonable.
All right, yeah, I'll hand over 6 shillings, and we'll have decent rations for the next couple of
Okay.
days.
Pay you back when we see you.
I won't ask for money.
I see.
So as you're getting ready to set off, innkeeper Franz comes out with a barrel on his shoulder, and there's all sort of white liquid sort of seeping through the barrel, and he sort of strolls over to the cart and just sort of puts it on the back of the cart. There you are, just in case you find yourself in trouble. Yeah, I've made sure there's plenty of potatoes in there.
Thanks.
Thank you, lad.
We'll be back in 2 to 3 days' time. So
Okay,
please keep our rooms for us.
absolutely. Yeah,
Just- Out of character, remind me when it comes to the inevitable chase scene, the first thing that we throw out of the wagon at the enemy is this
The fish stew.
Because if the beer goes, I'm
Oh,
going
you better believe it.
This is,
you
this is
could.
chemical warfare here with the fish stew.
Evil Gilmore has said fishy sausage. So yeah, you could use your sausages to dip in the fish stew to give yourself a flavoursome sausage.
That's
You
rubbish.
can't beat a good flavoursome sausage, can you? A fishy sausage.
What is wrong?
Dip all
That's
of your
so-
crossbow bolts in the fish. Maximum possible poison on it.
Yeah, so although we've got like bread, cheese, and sausages, the elves probably got like salad or something because elves don't eat.
Fruits and breads. Oh, we eat breads, you know.
You would have got the human's interpretation of what elves eat. So you've got like salad.
Some nuts and berries.
Yeah, a few basic fruits. It's not. He's not being insulting, but he knows you don't eat meat, so he's trying. It's a human's attempt to buy something that you'd like that you've kind of gone. It's not quite right, but yeah.
An A for effort. Ilmarin appreciates the effort. You could have just turned up and gone, here, Ilmarin, have a sausage. Hooray."
Yeah, but he's known you for a little while, so he knows you don't eat it. So he's tried, but without knowing exactly what you eat, you've got his approximation of what you eat.
Yeah, it's good enough. It'd do for a day's travel.
Shall we then, gentlemen?
Which you'll all get shown when we're on the road, so we don't have to eat that fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you set out, and as you're sort of riding away from Ubersreich, you're sort of going slowly past the queue of carts and horses and pedestrians that are queuing to get into Ubersreich. This way, though, the people that are trying to get in are a little bit more anxious, as if they're running from something almost.
As if there's an army of. As if there's an army on the other side. Oh yeah, wait.
Yeah. Okay, and after a couple of hours, you sort of get past the last of the stragglers, and you sort of carry on down what is quite a well-made road. you go through forest and then through clumps of trees, and it gets to about midday. Are you making camp, or are you going to push on and try and make it to?
Oh, if it's only midday, we'll keep going.
Okay. So yeah, you push on until you sort of crest an hill, and then again there is quite a small mass of trees either side of you. Definitely not a wood or a forest, but it's just like a few sparse trees around. And Dan, Dwarf Dan, should I say, you notice something lying in the road up ahead.
Dan, you're on mute if you were talking.
I'll slow the cart down. Stand up in my seat. Take a look at it.
Okay, it's not moving. It looks like a small child. It's laid face down in the ground.
I'll yell to our squire, point at it,
Right.
and then I'll reach back to get my crossbow.
Yeah, I'll kind of move up and pistol out.
Is someone suspecting a trap, perchance?
Everybody,
You
make
always
me
suspect a trap.
It's woof up.
a challenging perception roll, please.
Ilmarin is not going to roll this because he's too busy in the back of his lute writing a new song about halflings.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh.
Challenging -2 or minus?
No, challenging is 0.
Oh, challenging 0. Everything is challenging. Hey,
Good job,
No.
Gerhardt.
I know this shit. Apparently. Very
Okay, so
oh, there we go. Found it. My one isn't wanting to
Okay.
work.
so
There it is.
yeah, you definitely spotted it.
The dwarf
Gerhardt,
does
as
not notice.
as you're getting ready to
Yeah,
travel down
that's
towards this young childlike figure in the road, you notice some bushes move to the right hand side of you. You sort of turn and look and sort of keep your eye there, but whatever it was, it's not there now. It could have been a small deer or a rabbit or
Beastman.
some beastman or a couple of chaos warriors. No, it could have been something small.
A couple of
Um,
chaos
but-
warriors, yeah, that would just.
Yeah, you
Good
know.
game.
I'll shout out, beware the tree line.
Hagen
Go
looks-
into the long grass.
So Hagen, fearing an ambush, will settle his shield and draw his longsword and guide his horse forward with his knees towards the body.
Okay. So you get about 20 yards away from the body, and you hear this twanging noise as this arrow comes arcing over from the tree line and lands in the middle of the road in front of you. Hold it right there, you mean?
Shoot him.
Well, I don't think we saw it or where it came from.
But we can hear him, right?
Yeah, you hear a shout, yeah.
So we're holding. What is it that you wish? And if it's
hold on.
banditry,
Is it a human voice?
No.
Or does it sound distinctly greenskin from the Umi comment?
Does it sound green?
I'm thinking it sounds a bit green, yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
On the plus side, we probably have more Daka. Because we've
I
got
am the
we've got
mighty weenie sod. The green-skinned barber of Uber's right. And I see you're travelling with one of those bearded bastards.
Can we try and
Bring
spot
Bring him
where
down
this is?
here. I'll shave his beard off and you can all be on his way.
If you come
I
out
might
here,
even
you can
take his
try
head.
it.
Oh,
I-
you don't want to be fighting with us.
He didn't say he'd fight. He just said come down and try it.
Can't shave anything from behind the trees.
Okay, from the trees about 10 yards up from where you currently are, but in between you and Hagen, yeah, there comes this object flying out, and again, it lands with a squelch in the middle of the road. And it looks like some form of dead rabbit or something. Here, little dwarfy, come and get some food.
I mean, he was hungry for red meat.
Can we like lob some of the fish stew back in the
You've got a whole barrel full.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just kind of scoop some out with a bowl and fling it in that direction.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, make me a roll to see how
What
guess
is this?
ballistic
Yep,
skill, I guess.
manlings, by my
Yes.
ancestors' beard, lad, we need to have us a fight with these damn green-skinned scum.
Oh. At least it wasn't
Okay.
an awful failure. It was just kind of
No,
in that
so-
rough area.
yeah, you sort of open the barrel up and you sort of plunge your tankard in there. But you're sort of semi worried about what's going on. Yeah, you're fairly confident, but again, you've never really had.
Yeah, I'm not
Been in
launching
a-
the
a
tankard.
fight.
I'm literally flinging the
No,
contents.
you realise that you've plunged your arm in a little bit too far, so your arm's gone sort of elbow deep into the barrel, and you sort of pull it out a little bit, and some splashes up the front of you, but not a great deal. But there's enough to sort of be able to smell it for the next few days, and then you sort of sling it in the area of which the noises are coming from.
All right, immediately afterwards, then I upend my canteen over my arm and it went in. It's like, oh.
Hagen moves his horse back to the cart, nods down at Mordek, and goes, "Yeah, I think you're right. It's about time we split some green skulls."
Right.
Just from the back of the car, you just hear, what rhymes with
Let's
meat
be
pie?
having them.
Goblin die.
Goblin die. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, is that an elf that you've got there?
Why don't you come and have a look?
I'd like you to tell me first. Is it an elf?
Might be.
Oh,
Goblins fear elves.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need to shave the dwarf's beard off, of course. You know, I am the famous weenie sod after all, and maybe another group. Oh, we're coming past for the dwarf. Stinky bearded bastards.
How far away are they? Can we tell?
Yeah, so you would guess that Hagen's about 30 yards down the road, and they're about halfway in between you and Hagen.
So they're only just in the tree line.
Yeah.
Can I try and
shoot-
make
can-
out exactly where they are?
Right, make me a perception roll. Again, a challenging one.
Can I try as well?
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, I did it just on the nose.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you can see movement around the tree line, but you've not seen a goblin as such.
Oh, okay, so I can't actually see the goblin.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Can I try and move closer?
Of course you can.
I will move in that general direction, cautiously.
I'll move up with him.
Yeah.
And as Johan starts to move, Hagen feeling a great deal of responsibility for him, quickly moves back towards the party so he can be at his side.
And Ilmarin's just
Okay.
tuning his lute. Ding, 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 ding.
Where are we?
Are you going to start playing dueling banjos?
Duel of the Fates on a lute. Ding, 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 ding.
That's got to have been done somewhere.
If Ilmarin can play that, that will definitely win brownie points.
Oh, come on. Okay. So, would you like to start initiative, please?
Okay, so how are we doing this again?
So
Combat. Where's initiative?
it's on your main page. It's just
Ah.
that, isn't it?
No,
Yes.
it's not that. But it's just what it is, isn't it?
Hmm.
That's when that doesn't work. That just is literally
it's-
making an initiative test.
Yeah. So it is just
Yeah.
your initiative, isn't it? Like it's.
And normally in Foundry, you have a token, and you engage in combat on the token, and that puts you in a combat tracker.
Okay. Oh. So that's something with it. So
I think it's just our initiative score, isn't it?
I was gonna say, let's do it Warhammer old school. It's initiative score.
Because then you
That's
always
okay,
go
yeah.
first.
I've
'cause
got
you
no
went out.
token sorted. So yeah, if you
I've
give
got to
me
strike
your
first,
initiative
right?
scores. So Aaron, what's your initiative?
41.
41.
God, I am going last.
Colin,
24.
Kevin,
30.
30.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Dwarf,
20.
Slow but
Dan
steady.
Hmm?
Dan Elf, what's your initiative?
47.
Show off.
Sweet.
'Cause,
And
yes.
last but not least, Johan,
32.
32. Okay, so yeah, Johan, you start to move towards them. And as you sort of start moving, you see one of them sort of fidget and stick his head up.
Do I get to act?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So he's got to be really close to me, I'm guessing, given he was only like 10 yards away.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
move towards him.
Yeah. He seems to have all leaves and things stuck into his head. And,
Okay. In which case, I will level the pistol and take a pretty much point blank shot at it.
okay.
Do I get a bonus for being at point blank range to a goblin?
No, he's camouflaged.
No. Yeah.
It's not
I don't-
camouflage. I can see him.
He
Oh,
is
hang-
in a he is in trees, so you've got branches and tree trunks
Okay.
and that sort of around. So
All right.
yeah, no modifiers.
Let's give this a go. Oh, yes. A hit.
Okay.
Oh, the damage on that is scary.
Yeah. For
Wow.
one success level. Like now.
Okay. So
Yeah, he ignores any non-metal armor.
I
well,
would've done five
he
damage.
sort of jumps up and you see his head, and you almost sort of reflex shoot at him, and you level your gun and you let it go, and you hear this loud crack as it gets fired. But you definitely don't hit him in the upper half of his body. You sort of hit down like towards his legs, but he squeals out in pain and basically hits the floor straight away.
I think he blew his
And
nuts off.
you hear, you hear some gargling of pain and
Nice. That's good. If he'd have survived, I think he has to take a test or become broken because it's a black powder weapon.
yeah. Well, he's not getting back up from that.
14
Um,
damage.
I think I got him.
So, Dan, the elf.
Well, the loud crack would have made Ilmar drunk. He was very much into writing his music.
Yeah.
So he goes, goodness
Of course,
gracious,
a big puff of smoke because it's a gunpowder weapon.
goodness gracious. And then, he just kind of okay, you guys have got this. Don't worry, I believe in you. And starts playing a little action tune in the background to give him some music, give him some cheering him on.
Does it sound remarkably like Jewel of the Fates?
Yeah. Ding,
Love it.
Is
ding,
it
ding,
any
ding, ding,
good?
ding, ding.
Go on.
Oh, let's
Do a-
find out.
Do a roll.
Let's find out.
Let's see. Break a string.
Wait, Dan does a perform roll.
No, it's terrible.
Oh,
I haven't tuned it up
so.
properly yet.
Oops.
Not tuned in.
You need your half.
Where are we?
Egan? Question mark? He was pretty high. 41.
Yeah, 41.
Okay. So, Dan starts singing and dancing and jigging around and, generally making himself very loud. Hagen.
So, do I see any other goblins?
There was as Johann shot into the trees with his pistol, there was a lot of movement within the trees, but you don't know whether that was the poor little goblin being blown backwards through branches and things, or it could have been maybe a few others.
Okay. Well, I dismount then and I move up to the tree line with my shield and longsword drawn. But since I don't see anybody else, I'll just move up to the tree line and won't enter into it.
Okay. Make me a perception roll.
Nope.
So you
Can't see anything
can't-
through the trees.
Yeah, you can't see anything through. the
you
trees.
have got rerolls if you need them.
I'll hold it for my first disastrous swing of my sword.
99. Oops. You just decapitate Johann.
Ah, damn.
Is that before or after the reroll? Good question.
Okay, so you've wandered over to near where Johan is, yeah?
Yes. So in front of him and in front of Johann and near the tree line.
Okay. Gerhard.
Edith, can I see any goblins?
Not from where you're standing. If you maybe move towards the trees and have a really close look, you might be able to.
Yeah, I'll do that. Why not?
Okay. Again, make me a perception roll.
But... Success.
You definitely can see something, and it's small, and you can see browns. Definitely, could be a goblin.
Okay.
In fact, yeah, you're pretty sure it is a goblin.
I'm going to shoot at whatever I think is a goblin, that I'm pretty sure is a
Okay.
goblin. With a dart. Give me some.
With a dart. Okay.
In theory.
Oh.
No.
Eventually, that spell will go off.
Oh,
I've only actually used the dart spell once before. It was against the troll.
Yeah.
The only other time I've been near a combat.
Didn't you try one on a wolf and it also failed? I think you've tried it a couple times before and it's failed.
Oh no, I did try that wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, so you hold your hand out and you do your somatics and you give out the power and all that happens is a little puff of purple smoke comes out the end of your finger.
Very good.
And those around Gerhardt knows that there's a little wispy smoke comes from the top of his head as well. As it sort of goes.
Nah.
Winds are a bit weak around here.
Yeah, totally that.
Like online gamers blaming lag.
Yeah.
So Caitlin.
Carolyn.
I was going to say, don't you mean Carolyn?
I'm old.
See if she can spot any goblins and kind of advance up towards the tree line, probably. She doesn't have a ranged weapon. She wouldn't be any good with it if she did.
So are you going to advance towards the tree?
Advance towards the tree line and have a
where Johan is, or the one on the other side? Yeah. Okay.
Probably where Johan is, although if we think that... Actually, can I make a perception roll? To see if I can spot movement the other side. If there's movement the other side as well, I'll go that way. Chances are... Nope. Okay, I'm advancing up next to Johan.
Okay, right. Okay.
That was an impressive failure.
Okay, so as you get there, you see Gerhardt sort of point towards this thing, and you see this smoke. But as you sort of follow his arm to where he was pointing, you can in fact see some movement. So it is possibly a goblin. In fact, you're 95% sure it is a goblin.
Is that same or other side from where?
No. From it's on this side. But yeah,
it's on the same side that
Hagen
and Johan are on. Okay, cool. Well, I was moving up a bit with Johan, so I'll move up a bit further towards where Hagen is, towards the tree line. For now, I'm not. Charge. I'm not quite ready to charge into the middle of a pack of like half a dozen goblins when I don't know where they are. Even that way is.
Do it.
That way is a recipe for getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah,
it's what a hero would do.
Probably.
You only live once. Unless you're
young Mr. Dwarf.
And you live when you reroll.
Aye, laddie. Wrong accent. I keep my crossbow handy. Did we actually get eyes on the little girl and actually see if it is a little girl or if said little girl was alive? So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go and check to see if that dead body is dead and is a little girl.
Not a goblin.
And not a goblin behind us.
Okay. So you ride up to.
And I'll go on foot.
Yeah. You realise that there's like a blanket covering up the child as you get closer to it, but it's definitely a childlike shape.
A goblin-like shape.
But as you get close to it, it sort of jumps up and it spins round and the blanket falls away. And there's this goblin there, and he's got all these pairs of shears across his stomach. Yeah. And he's holding two big pairs of shears. I'm skinning me some stunty, yeah. Yeah, and he starts snipping with these big shears.
I'm going to shoot him in the face with my crossbow.
Okay.
I thought that might be what was about to happen.
Yeah.
Would you like to make a shot?
Does he get a bonus to range on that one, given it's in the open?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, we'll have a bonus now.
Unless he's been made to jump.
I think it's plus 20.
Do I put it on the modifier advantage?
40.
Do I put it on
It's an easy shot.
It's where it's got the drop-down menu.
Modifier.
Like challenging.
Where it says difficulty of roll, I think. It says.
Easy, plus 40.
Nice.
Okay.
Excellent. Still haven't missed with the crossbow. Just saying.
Okay. Would you like me? Would you like to do me some damage, please, Mr. Mordek?
I will try.
So a crossbow is 9 plus those success levels.
So that would be.
So
That's an 11. Okay. Oh. So you let loose a bolt, and as he's sort of waving these shears around his hands, you've shot him straight through his left hand, and he lets out a squeal. Ah! And he needs to make a roll. Where are we?
Poor weenie sod.
Hey, we couldn't let these goblins just, well, live. It's unpatriotic.
Patriotic, I love it.
Brigands on the road, all that. We're doing the Lady Nacta a favour.
Sigmar hates
That's right.
greenskins, so
We're
greenskins
doing
die.
Sigmar's work.
I
Hey.
do need to get used to these character sheets.
That's how Johan sees it.
Hey up,
Sigmar
lad.
hates
My
greenskins. So
Dowie ancestors always be smiling on us if you kill a greenskin or two.
it's why the dwarves respect the cult of Sigmar, because they hate greenskins.
They generally agree that greenskins deserve to die.
Suddenly, he turns into a chaos spawn.
Damn it.
Turns out it's not goblins we're shooting at.
Actually, it's Mr. Weenie. So he's looking at the arrow with, or the bolt, should I say, with, well, terror almost. But he's looking at you equally as angry, and he's only snipping with one hand at the moment. Okay.
It would appear his barber career has been cut short.
Oh,
Oh my god!
He can use his right hand. Yeah. Let's not take the mic. Yeah. Yeah. It took me ages to come up with that NPC. Right.
I hope he becomes a recurring villain.
Okay, right. Okay.
I don't know that he's going to get a chance at this rate by the look
He's
of it.
my favourite.
Okay. So
Maybe another goblin will pick up the mantle.
so
Kill my father
there is
to die.
there is an arrow that comes out to the group of Gerhardt, oh no, Colin,
Caroline.
Caitlin, not
Carolyn.
Is it?
Carolyn.
Crikey. All right. Yeah. Okay. Hagen
been a
and
long day.
Johan. Jonathan. Johan. Right. Yeah. And
Just for that, it hits Carolyn. For
it
example.
It does head towards Johan.
what's heading towards me?
An arrow.
Love.
Oh, nuts.
Come
Stupid
on,
kind of way.
ammunition. Gave. 1 second.
You did have the stinky boomstick. They would try and take it out.
Hey, I got to play with my new toy. It was great.
Yep. You shot a
Oh, cool.
goblin in the crotch. I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Where's the knife?
It's one
There
way
it
to
is.
stop them breeding.
That'll do it.
Not that that's how it
Not
works.
that that's how it works with
but
greenskins, but you know.
They're mushrooms.
Okay.
Oof.
Further.
So this arrow comes shooting past Hagen's ear and lands
I was
behind him.
aiming for Johan. Got closer to
Okay.
Hagen. Yeah.
And then there are 2 arrows that get shot from either side of the road towards the dwarf.
Try and pin him down so Sweeney can shave him. Or Weenie. Sorry.
Bring it.
Todd.
Oh, it was close.
Oh!
He got hit in the
And
head.
he shoots you in the head. Yeah. And you take 9 damage.
Damage to the head.
Remember,
Crikey.
minus toughness
And
Yeah.
armor if you're wearing a
and
helmet.
any armor if you've got anything on your head.
Just checking.
And no, a dwarf skull doesn't count as armor.
I've only got leather jack, so
So
no
no.
armor.
No, nothing
No
on the
armor on the
head.
head.
So that's 5 wounds.
Yeah, but you have now got a little bit of wood armor sticking out your head.
If someone hits you in the exact
It's
same
good. I
spot.
can use it to bat
That's all right.
the other ones away.
That's better scratch to a dwarf.
Really a fresh
Okay. And the goblin in front of you with the bolt in his hand starts legging it for the tree line on the right hand side.
Which side is the rest of us on? Are we on the right or the left?
On the right hand side, but this is like about.
Yeah, he's not running to us, but I'm just wondering, is he running
he's
to the
about
same
50
bit?
yards
as us?
down the road where he is now.
Okay.
Where do I mark my wounds?
On the front page.
Main page.
Sorry, thank you.
Right, so
Oh, that's not too bad.
any other goblins?
Well, there's at least 2 that just shot, and
3.
3 shot.
3 shot. Good, yes. I forgot
There was
the
one that shot. So there was one near where you all are, and you can now see him. He stood there. It goes back to the top. It would be Johan, but you didn't. Your initiative isn't as high as Hagen's. You just acted first because you were the one
Doing
taking
stuff.
the
combat.
initiative. Yeah. So Hagen, you do spot this guy,
Isn't it the
this
elf
little
first?
goblin. I do take it back. Sorry.
Ilmarin continues
say,
to play the
Ilmarin,
rest.
You've reached the second verse now. You've just done the chorus, and you're on the second
Go on.
verse.
See if you can improve your performance, Dan.
So first off, I'm going to do a perception roll to see if I can see the other 2 goblins.
Okay.
No, I can't. And then I'm going to play a song and try to tell the guys where they are by playing my song.
Oh, okay.
He's
No,
in front of you, right in front of your fucking eyes.
They're over there. They're over there. They're over
So
there.
anyway, here's Wonderwall.
All right. Well, Hagen then charges the goblin that he can see.
Okay. You close distance quite quickly on him as he's sort of scrabbling for another arrow to notch.
How? I think you hit him.
He might be
Sweet.
dead.
He comes
Okay,
through with that
so-
longsword and just slices across the goblin's
Yeah,
guts.
you sort of come running in, and he's sort of almost in a panic to sort of reach for his arrow, and he keeps knocking them out of the quiver. And you sort of get to him, and you give this big old heave, and you hit him roughly about his waist area, and your sword comes out about his shoulder area, and it literally rips him in two. Yeah, and he just looks very sort of shocked at you. Goes to get another arrow, and then just falls over.
Right, that's
Nice.
that's one down, lads. Two more, and the crazy barber.
Gerhardt.
I'm going to try and shoot a magic dart.
Hit the
So the
bandit
only one
guy.
you can see is the crazy barber.
I'm aiming for the
Making
barber.
one for the-
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll say yeah. It's not going to shoot anyway. Oh,
Hey!
I'd say you've hit.
my god!
You
it does
successfully
5
cut.
points of damage.
Okay, so you bring up your hands in your best sort of strike down pose, and you
This time you
let it
actually
loose.
you actually cast a spell.
I'm hoping he
I
screams
cast
unlimited
light a lot.
power.
It's just as
This
difficult.
little rainbow sort of dart flutters down the road, and as it gets to the to the dwarf, as the goblin who's running away, it sort of speeds up and hits him in the back, and it sort of carries him about 10 feet, and then he sort of lies motionless on the floor.
Weenie! No!
Well done, Gerhardt.
He better not be dead. I love that little guy.
You shot him.
I was out of character. Sorry.
Yeah, out of character, we're all very upset about Weenie Todd right now. Weenie
So-
Swords.
Carolyn, what would you like to? Yes, you see that.
Well done. You got it right.
Yeah.
I have no
I
idea.
did pull up his name on the screen.
Somewhere over there, somewhere over there. I'm
Yeah.
going to go in search for. I'm going to go to search for goblin. I have no idea where the goblins are, but I'm going to go to search for goblin.
Okay.
What you mean to say Ilmarin's singing of over there is not helping you?
Ilmarin
By a
singing
tree.
over there by the tree is not helping me. Unfortunately, my perception is shit, so my chance of actually finding them is probably going to be pretty slim.
I'm picturing you singing the Saints
Good
Go
roll.
Marching In now.
Oh, over there.
Only missed by 5 this time. So SL minus 0 rather than, minus whatever I've been getting before. But
You think you're seeing some movement, but you can't be
I'll head in that direction.
totally sure. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Dwarf.
Oh, when do I go?
Oh, sorry.
you
I
forgot
do
before me.
apologise.
Before me,
no.
right? You're-
No,
Right,
it is in fact Johan. Sorry, I do
Can
apologise.
I see any goblins?
You've seen the one who's just been shot in the back by the wizard.
You also need to reload, don't you?
You can look a little bit harder
I've
either
got a
side of the road.
I've got a sword. Let's see if I can see anything. Oh, yes.
Nice.
3 success levels.
Yeah, so down by where Weenie sort of landed, you see this little green head come out of the bushes and sort of look to where he landed. And then he sort of looks around to you and he makes eye contact with you and darts back into the forest again.
Do I see any others with my 3 success levels?
You've seen movement the other side as well, but you couldn't be very sure. You've got a rough idea of where the area is, but no.
Okay, well, I'll point out where I spotted the goblins to the others.
Okay.
Move towards the one that I saw poke his head out and reload my pistol.
Okay. Mr. Dwarf.
I want to go and make sure that the goblin is dead.
Okay. So you jump down from your cart.
I was already down from my cart because
Oh,
I
okay.
shot him point blank.
And Colin's just been given a reroll. Thank you,
okay.
Anamuchi.
Okay, so you
Wait.
move over to where he is,
Thank you.
and the back of him is
Might even
smoking.
get a chance to use it. Fucking
It's got a
one of the
round
bastards.
sort of burn hole, and the green skin underneath is all scorched, and it seems to have bitten deep into his back, and you can see some of his burnt organs inside.
I'm going to turn him over, take a set of his shears, and
Yeah.
stab them into his mouth.
Okay.
Oh, Graham!
Okay.
I would like to follow it up, if I may, with an intimidate roll to see if we can shake the goblins a bit. Is that all right? Would that work?
So yeah, you can act a bit crazy and stab him in the mouth, and you can shout something out if you want. But tell me what you'd like to shout.
I'll be shouting in Dwarven, swearing very loudly,
Okay.
and kind of avowing to the oaths of my ancestors that all goblins need to be killed.
A lot of phlegm, mostly.
A lot of phlegm, a lot of rage. The beard is wobbling, and there are tremors of rage going through the big beard.
Okay.
Do I get any bonuses or minuses?
They're going to get some bonuses to not bonuses, but it's going to affect their shots at you. But you get no direct
Let's see if I
bonuses.
succeed.
Oh, but
No.
what, to plunge the scissors in his mouth? Yeah,
I know. I
you
meant
get to
I meant the intimidate roll.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you think you basically
didn't
you've
work
made
anyway.
this big speech of how you're going to tear their eyes out, shear their ghoulies from the body, and yeah, you're basically going to ram the shears up their backsides and make sure they poke out through the mouth. And yeah, this really grim, gruesome battle cry. Yeah, all
Fortunately,
everybody
it's
else
in
can hear
Dwarven,
in the
so
group
and no one
is-
else can understand it.
Yeah, a dwarf just shouting very loudly, gobbledygook. And he looks like he's completely lost his mind. Okay.
And he's got an arrow
So-
sticking out of his head.
To be fair, he does
For
have an arrow
reference.
stuck in his head.
Is it back to Ilmarin now, or is the goblin? Oh no, goblin's got to shoot.
Someone does.
The
someone
first
got
one
shot.
hits
You just got shot.
Who just got?
in the body.
Who
got shot?
The dwarf.
Oh no!
They don't like you.
They did make that clear from the outset.
You do
That's
get your
true,
armor
that's
this
true.
time.
Was it?
And another arrow just whizzes past your right arm as you stood there. You've just been and you sort of cringe as you get hit in the chest with this arrow.
That was
And
8 damage,
should-
was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So you
Don't
don't
forget your
forget
armor
to
and
take your
toughness.
armor and your toughness off that. So, but
So
yeah,
I think that didn't do anything then.
How
Minus
much,
one.
how much armor have you got?
I've got a toughness of 41,
no,
So
so
you've
that's
got-
I'm looking
four.
at
So
that-
toughness 4.
and then the
you've got
leather
one
jack says,
armor.
"Oh,
One.
1."
Yeah, so
Oh,
5.
AP. So what was the toughness? Ah, right. I see.
So you get
Yeah.
you take 3.
On the
yeah,
combat
okay.
sheet, it lists
Yeah.
the total. Your total.
But
Oh,
remember,
that's
in,
not too bad.
in combat, if you get hit, even if you've got enough soak to soak it all, you always take 1.
Ah, okay, cool.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
Okay. The rest of the group, you can now see these two goblins as they've sort of jumped out and shot at the dwarf.
See,
And you
plan
see him
worked.
get hit again, and he sort of cringes down, and this other shot comes whizzing in, and him getting hit by the first goblin probably saved his life because he sort of cringes down, and the other one just whizzes straight past his right arm. Dying. Right, back to the top.
Ilmarin actually now seeing his dwarf friend taking a few arrows to the body. He feels like he might actually have to do something. So he knocks an arrow in his bow and fires at the right hand one. Let's say the right hand one.
And you've got a long bow, haven't you?
Yeah, I just have a standard bow, not a long
Just
bow.
a normal standard bow.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Do I'm gonna use
You've
a
got
reroll.
You've got a reroll, yeah.
Oh, I do have a reroll, do I?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Because like I have a good ballistic. skill.
Evil Gilmore gave you an
Thank
a
you,
reroll
Evil
earlier.
Gilmore. I'm gonna try and use it and hope that this goes.
Very botches and hits the dwarf.
Oh my
Oh my
god!
Oh.
My dice rolls tonight have been atrocious.
Quite botch and hit the dwarf.
So-
it wasn't actually a fumble, but
So, as you sort of stood there with this arrow in your chest,
Because I was too
and
busy
the
trying to put my
sun's
loot
just
away.
from behind you, this larger arrow, sort of whistles past your ear as well, and lands quite close to you.
I'm just getting my aim in.
Okay, Hagen.
Reassuring.
So are either of these two goblins within charging distance?
Probably not this time, no.
All
But
right,
you can
then
definitely close down the distance big time.
that's what I do then.
Okay. Johan.
Okay, so I moved close to them last turn. I'm gonna level the
You're
pistol.
reloading.
Can I use an aim
Yes,
and
push come.
shoot one of the goblins?
Go for it. Are you going to shoot the one on the dwarf side, or are you going to shoot the one across the road?
The one furthest from the dwarf,
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure Mordek will be pissed if I shoot the one he's running at. Where is it? There it is.
Gunpowder.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
Wow.
Head.
Boom! Headshot.
Okay. So you level your pistol at him and let loose a shot. And again, there's a large crack and some black smoke pours from it. And as the black smoke clears, there is a small green creature wobbling, just stood there like that, with literally the top of his head missing. And he sort of looks really shocked and then just head first down into the ground.
I'm going to make a mental note to record in my engineer's journal that there is a specific point in the head that if you shoot it, it literally explodes.
Did you go
Okay.
while you were shooting?
So as you do that, you look across at the other goblin, and he's sort of holding it together, and he even shouts out a little like "wanker," yeah, and sort of he looks like to be getting another arrow ready. Gerhardt,
Brave goblin.
Oh, I'll
Foolish brave goblin.
I will try to dart once again. So I got one advantage. Oh wait, that's not how that works. Let's do this. Nope.
Back to normal.
Can I fortune point that? How many fortune points?
You
do I have?
can.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gerhardt,
You've got 4.
Gerhardt, you are back to firing blanks
I
again.
think.
Yeah, I'm gonna fortune point.
If you right click on your roll and hit use a fortune point, it will do it all for you.
Okay. Right click. Take a dark deal to reroll +1 corruption is all it says for me.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
that.
you
if
should
you
totally
want.
do that.
Absolutely, yeah. You know,
Or you
I'm-
could
I'm
use a
also-
fortune,
yeah.
you know.
It
you
doesn't
can
have
do some more
fortune
haggling
points
as well.
on
You
that.
can make it an automatic hit if you want.
For a corruption point.
Oh no, it'll be something a little bit more advanced than that.
Oh, if the option's not coming up, just roll it again, I guess.
Yeah.
Nope. I
Uh,
don't understand that though. Oh wait.
Kevin just
I
got
got one
a
success
reroll.
level. Casting failed.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And is the roll? Maybe I put it in wrong.
No, it's right, but
Yeah, but it said +1 success level.
What is found? Have
Yeah.
you got something that gives you one?
I have
one plus one
advantage
success
and I
level?
have +1 from having perfect pitch.
Perhaps that's what
They didn't add
did
it
it.
in right because 57 is
Yeah.
What's
stats.
what's
yeah. So yes, you have a +1, don't you? There.
I have +2.
Oh,
I
I
would
see.
have
So it would have been a 0, but you got a +1
It would have
success
been. It
level.
would have been one. Yeah. Would have been.
Yeah,
one,
so
it would have been 77 that I was trying to roll under,
Right.
and I rolled.
So yeah, so you hit.
I think you've
You should have
actually hit him for base damage, I think.
Yeah.
+1.
Plus
So
one
what
is it's like 5. It's like willpower bonus plus success levels, so 5 damage.
Damage,
Oh,
yeah.
and Kev and Dan have been given rerolls. In fact, Kev's been given
Kev's got 2, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Thank you very much.
Kev,
Which Dan?
you said you had advantage.
Uh,
How do you?
good question.
Both. 2 for 1.
Because I succeeded on the last one, right? So I get to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to add it in with.
I don't know how
putting-
advantage works in this system. I have never played.
So you
If-
get
if
you
Advantage
get
adds
plus,
10.
yeah, you get +10 to your next round, and it keeps going while the combat's going.
On
effectively.
the combat tab, if there's a line that says advantage, if you
Yeah.
put 1 or 2 in there, it'll automatically add the bonus.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just what under
Oh.
what
It gives you
conditions
+10
get
to
one
your
of the things.
rolls. So
Yeah.
you get each one will give you a +10
So
to
you get an advantage.
attack, block, whatever. in
If you hit
combat.
someone or block or dodge or parry or whatever, you get another advantage.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
successfully do a combat action.
Okay.
If you're a fighty boy like Hagen, you can potentially get a fuck ton of advantage very quickly.
And what? How do they go away again?
If you get
Each
If you
round you're
fail.
not doing something, you lose one.
and if you take damage, you lose them all, don't you?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, as soon as you take damage, they're gone.
Okay. Thank you. I've not actually got anywhere near combat so far, so it's
Clarify, it was Elf Dan that got one.
So it is now Carolyn's turn.
Can I run down that goblin I was approaching, given I spent the last turn approaching in the general direction
Yeah,
of what might have been a goblin?
He's there. You can try and run him down.
Cool. I'm going to try and run down this goblin. It is probably not going to go very well because my skill is not great. So it's just a standard roll. I don't have any stuff.
If you're charging, you get +10.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gain an advantage just for charging.
I'll do that if it'll.
Realised I shouldn't
That
have had to reroll because
me-
that first one was actually a success. I don't know.
Ah.
It won't let me put the advantage in.
If it's there's a long line right under on the combat tab.
Yeah.
Before you actually click on it, before you bring up that little menu, if you can you should be able to put 1 in there, and then when you actually
Right, I
I see what
see.
you mean now.
So I put 1 in there because I am charging. Okay, then it's showing up with modifier of that. Do that. Bang. But
You
I
do
have a
re-
reroll.
You do.
So I'm going to try that again because I don't like that because I want to see if I can actually. That's
Ooh,
more
there
like
you
it. Wow.
Okay. So
yes, I think that's calculated.
you
right.
sort of stumble and you sort of almost go to fall as you get there, but you lash out with your sword and you sort of catch him mid-thigh
Yep.
with quite a hefty slash, and basically you take his leg clean off, and there's blood spraying everywhere, and he sort of squeals and topples over, moves for a little bit, and then stops. Okay. The dwarf.
Is there one still in front of me?
I
No.
think they're all dead, aren't
Or are
they?
they
now?
both dead?
Yes, they're both dead.
As far as we know at this point, every goblin we've identified has been accounted for.
I will sling my crossbow over my shoulder, head back to the cart, and pour myself a beer.
You could
That
pour
was,
yourself a good jug of fish and potato
I'll
stew
stick
if
with
you want.
beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well swung, Carolyn. That was quite the blow. Night of you yet.
Can I walk up to the corpse of the mouthy goblin?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of walk up to him and go, you see, in the Empire, there's 2 kinds of people: those with loaded guns and those who dig. You dig? Sort of
He
blow the
doesn't
smoke
move.
from my pistol
Yeah.
and holster it.
Okay.
Mordek, you're looking a little worse for wear. Gonna be able to walk that off?
Glug, glug, glug.
Let's get him
Or a
back on the
couple of-
car, get some ale in him.
He has a good drink, and there's a couple of little fountains. No, not really.
Can we
Um,
search the goblins in case they've mugged anyone and got anything
yeah,
of use
so
worth
the
on them?
weapons that they've got are pretty
they're
crude
goblin.
and pretty crappy. Yeah, so they're not worth anything. But the barber himself, he has a pouch that looks quite full.
Okay, I will pick up said pouch.
Full
Okay,
of hair.
it's full of teeth.
Currency of greenskins.
I'll just-
you have a look through, and there's roughly 11
Oh,
teeth
if it,
there.
I'll just upend it, make sure it's just teeth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Barbaric.
worthless.
Well, at least they won't be plaguing anybody else on the road.
Elmarin starts letting out a ballad from his loot of all of your heroic deeds. So as we begin on the road again, the loot is going hard, and I got 4 successful levels. So it is an actual Finally, a great tune.
Elmarin
guys are just sitting
finally
there and
tuned
I'm-
his lute.
And I'm just singing a song about you guys and how heroic you all were. And oh, brave Carolyn who cut off a goblin's leg. And Johan cracked the skull with the bullet. You guys just generally loving life right now because you've got your own.
The dwarf
Right,
got
man.
penetrated twice.
Freezing.
I didn't realise it was a Friday.
Okay. So, yeah, the dwarf has a drink. Everybody sort of dusts themselves down. Are you burying the goblins?
Just throw them off the side of the road.
Yeah, kick them
Yeah.
out of the way.
Yeah. And you set off again. Shall we have a quick toilet break there? A drink break.
Sounds good.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. Just going to have a 5-minute drinks break. We'll see you again very, very soon. Okay, so you gather the party back together again and ride away from the extremely successful goblin ambush with the green-skinned barber of Ubersreich lying face down in the floor. The rest of the day goes without hindrance whatsoever, and nightfall comes. You haven't come up to a camp yet, but you can hear distant noises that sounds like stakes being hammered into the floor. You can hear shouting, but again, it is in the far off distance. Now, it's up to you. You can either take make a camp here and take a rest, or push on into the darkness and try and find the Bretonnian camp.
From the noise we're hearing, do we have any idea how far ahead of us it is?
Well, it's quite a windy night, and you're pretty unsure, but you've not seen. You don't think you're really, really close because you're pretty sure you'd have hit into some guards or I can't think of the name now.
Patrols,
Sentries.
scouts. Yeah.
Sentry groups, scouts around the camp, but you've seen nothing so far.
Johan, I think we should probably camp for the night. I don't want to come across a Bretonnian picket line in the middle of the night. They have a tendency to attack before knowing who they're fighting.
Yeah, they might just attack first and ask questions later.
And I'm sure Mordek could use a good night's rest and some bandaging before we have to face off against the damn Bretonnians, even in a social situation.
Unfortunately, I'm no good with medicine.
Oh,
My
I'm crap as
experience is
well, but
machines, but
I'm sure
Yeah,
Elmarin
man,
has got to
I'll
be.
be fine. I'll be fine, man. Like, just need a good night's sleep, like.
I mean, I suppose I could try and prepare him.
To eat.
Unfortunately, I don't think he'll count as a
know-
repair roll.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going to say, I know Johan's eaten that sort of flesh before, hasn't he?
That's right. A little bit of long pig.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you make camp. Are you setting a watch, or
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
are you?
Definitely.
Ilmarin will probably
Okay.
keep watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you all potter off to sleep, and Ilmarin sort of he's keeping watch and composing another song. One that speaks of gunpowder weapons taking the tops of goblins' heads off, and dwarves being impaled by arrows, and ladies like chopping legs off. Everything that's just happened, it fits quite nicely and rhymingly into this song that
It's a brutal yet
Ilmarin has
melodic
put
song.
together. And the night goes quietly by without encounter or hindrance. Nothing at all. It's almost too quiet, but everybody gets a good rest, and you've had a good evening songwriting almost. You did a bit of meditation halfway through, but everybody except for Mordek wakes up quite fresh.
Do you want to know how healing works with sleeping?
Yes.
So, after a good sleep, once a day, you make a +20 endurance test. And if you succeed, you heal a number of wounds equal to the success levels plus your toughness bonus.
There's a little marker here in wounds saying rest and recover wounds, so I'm going to click on that.
Well, if you do an endurance test at
Yeah,
plus
it
It
comes
might-
up endurance
Comes
test.
up with an endurance test.
Okay,
doesn't it?
cool.
Yeah, and it says, is it an average roll or?
Yeah.
Yeah, plus
Plus 20.
20.
Okay. Oh,
I already had it
no,
put in.
what?
And I'd imagine with your
Sorry.
endurance, it should be fairly easy.
Four
So
wounds.
you recover 4 plus your toughness bonus. in wound.
8.
8 wounds healed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says it on the thing.
Says it on the thing.
That's cool.
Clever
Pretty
girl.
impressive, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it down
That
to being
almost
hit
put.
in the
In
head.
fact, that puts me back to full wounds.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you do put it down to being hit in the head. Quite, thick-skulled.
Just needed to rejig my humours.
Yeah.
Dwarf constitution.
I like that you sleep overnight. You probably don't even have a scar.
He still has a little bit of arrow sticking out of his head, but it's just poking through his hair. But he don't seem to have noticed.
I need a beer.
Nice.
The elf's in the corner just eating some rather unusual berries and nuts, but then looks back at Johan and goes, "Mmm."
Note to self, buy those again. Or the rest of us can chow down on cheese, bread, and sausage.
That sounds like a much better meal.
So, you get your breakfast out the way. Everybody, even the dwarf, he's had a real good night's rest, and he's
Sleep,
all
the
ready to
sleep
go
of the
again.
concussed.
yeah, absolutely. You've not
we
slept
smell
as well
the stew
since
from
your
that
mother-
barrel.
Oh yeah.
Has that not
I
had
think-
an accident yet?
I think we should
Like, it's
just
disappeared into the night.
let's just leave it here because we don't want to take that stinking barrel into the Bretonian camp.
Do Bretonians like fish?
Depends.
Probably not that fish.
If they're from Bordeaux or
Yeah, let's not.
And I'll have given my leather
Yeah.
armor a bit of a scrub where the fish stew
So-
hit it.
So yeah, you tip the fish stew away, and the barrel. In fact, you don't risk the fact that you're going to pour it away. You just sort of
Leave
at
the
the
barrel
side of
to
the
one
road.
side. Yeah.
And yeah, you set off. But one thing is apparent as you're travelling away, you still can smell quite strongly that fish and potato stew.
It's leaked onto the cart, hasn't it?
No, it does seem to be a bit stronger around Johan, but yeah.
It's good that we've got a soap allowance when we get back to Uberstrike.
Definitely.
After about 2 hours travel, you see some mounted troops coming down the road towards you, and they sort of stop, and then they start moving towards you again.
Do they look like Imperial troops or Bretonians?
As you get closer, you do recognise their devices as Bretonian in style.
are they colourful?
Yeah, there's a fair amount of colour there from.
They're definitely
Yeah,
they
Bretonians.
do- they do
well,
all
they're
seem
going to
to
look
be
very
wearing-
different to the Empire ones.
Yeah, they do all seem to be wearing the same like tabard colours, and they do have a little banner flag, like a banner out with it. And it is white and yellow, yeah, with a droplet of blood that runs through the two colours.
Heraldry's not my thing.
About the winds, I don't know about it.
Not a clue.
I actually
give
have
it-
Laura Heraldry. I could give it a shot.
Yep, couldn't.
Let's see. Nope.
Oh no.
I got,
Yeah, you've
I don't know the
you've not got a clue.
Bretonians.
It's definitely not who you thought it was earlier on. You know, it's definitely
good,
not that.
good.
Should we wave some kind of flag of parley? So that's how we were advised to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get a bit of sheeting out. I take it it's going to be white.
As near to white as we've got.
Okay.
A handkerchief.
Okay. So they stop a little bit up the road, and one rides towards you. And by the looks of him, Hagen, he's like a minor officer of some form in the ranks. And
I ride up to meet him.
okay. Who are you traveling with?
I am Hagen Ritter von Delbers, and I am escorting Johann von Erfinder to meet with the Duke on behalf of Lady Notch of Ubersreich.
She sends pig dogs to meet with the mighty Duke.
Your Reichspiel is poor. I believe you meant to say that she sends us to meet with pig dogs, but my Bretonian is weak as well.
It's clearly not our forte.
So
But I am no diplomat. We're simply here
Yes,
to.
we have a diplomat.
Yeah, Ilmarin's actually going to sort of wander his way forward, hearing this.
I will also go because I can speak fluent
You speak
Bretonian.
Bretonian, yeah, I was going to say.
Yes.
Master Elf.
I will address him in Bretonian.
Okay.
Good morning. Oh,
Ah.
I
Hello.
will be speaking in Bretonian.
Hmm.
My name is Johann von Erfinder of the Erfinders.
You seem to have a very brash and loudmouth friend that you travel with.
I'm sure something has been lost in translation. We are here to offer the Baron an invitation to a ball on behalf of Lady Nut.
I take that something else has been lost in translation again, because you would not dare to call my Duke a Baron.
Ilmarin's just shaking his head.
My apologies. It's been a while since I've spoken Bretonian. Duke Sanguinaire.
Yeah, it does take a great deal of skill, and yes, and more intelligence to speak the song of Bretonia.
May you escort us to the Duke. We have been instructed by Lady Nut to offer it to him in person.
Yeah, I would have thought so. And he sort of leans behind him and signals back, and two more horsemen ride up. You will hand over all of your weapons and arms to my men, and we will escort you into the camp after we have searched your cart.
I would have to
What
ask.
is that terrible smell?
I would have to ask the permission of the others, if they would have to agree, and I would have your word that no ill would come to our arms under
You
your
have my
care,
word
and
as
we
a
will
Bretonian soldier.
and who do I have the pleasure of addressing?
My name is Pierre.
Given you are a knight, I'm assuming you are a noble, Pierre.
I am no knight. I am how you would say, a sergeant at arms.
A
yeoman.
Okay.
Within.
In which case, if you would escort us to someone, we would have to speak to a knight.
Well, you will not get into our camp without you removing your weapons and handing them over to my men.
The word of a Bretonian knight is something I could accept to hand over my weapons to their care.
You are not doing yourself any favors, my friend. Either you hand over the weapons or we turn round and give the word to our perimeter guards that you are hostiles. We will not let any arms into.
I tell you what, why don't I leave my weapons here? I'll come and speak to a knight. while my
Can
friends wait
Ilmarin
here.
speak Bretonian?
Oh, they're probably not actually. I can speak Elvish and I can speak Common, but I can't speak Bretonian.
Well, if you go and get a knight, we will proceed.
Why should I go and get a knight? It is you that want something from the Duke, not the Duke who wants something from you.
The Duke would want this invitation. And I believe it is not customary for Bretonian peasants to speak for their lords.
It is not wise for silly old world empire men to speak harshly towards soldiers of the mighty Bretonian invasion force.
Did he say invasion force?
Well, perhaps you should go and get your lord.
You are not welcome in the camp. And he sort of turns around. And he rides back down to the group with the other two, and they sort of spread out over the road and sort of keep a distance.
Just kind of turn around.
Ilmarin just looks at you and goes, "What did you say?"
These peasants want us to hand over their weapons to them and won't fetch us their lords.
But our job is just to deliver a message. So what harm is it handing over our weapons?
If you wish to go on ahead,
Right,
feel
fine.
free.
And I kind of walk. I walk towards
tell you
the.
what, give me your weapons.
Yeah,
I
I've
wouldn't
already
trust
handed over my
Bretonian peasants with them.
And I put my hands up and I'm heading towards the Bretonians.
I will hand you the seal before you bugger off.
And I walk up to the Bretonians with my hands up, clearly intent, and I've got no weapons on me. And I look like a diplomat. I'm not like these guys.
Can someone go with him?
No.
Hello there, Master the Yeoman. I do.
Yes.
Hello there. I am Ilmarin, envoy of Ovwan, the elf people. Pointy ears. I have given up my weapons. Would I be able to could you grant me an audience with a lord, and I will deliver the message from the Lady of Ubersreich, and we will be on our way, and we will not trouble you any further. Really and truly, you don't want to be wasting your time with these guys.
Oh, you say that an elf speaks for the Lady of Ubersreich?
I mean, I wouldn't say I speak for her, more that we've been tasked to deliver a message, more like a messenger. I'm not really speaking on her behalf. I believe the invitation that I'm to provide to your lord will be them talking to each other so they can speak on each other's behalf rather than having intermediaries.
So he cuts you off halfway through talking, and he turns around to one of his men, and he speaks a language you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And his man sort of turns and rides off. He fetches someone for you to speak to.
Ah, excellent. Thank you very much, kind sir. You do your lord a good service.
So you're roughly waiting about an hour. I take it you guys are waiting around for Ilmarin. You
Yeah.
can see at the.
I'll hand out drinks.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll sit on the cart and basically keep an eye on him from a distance.
So in the distance, you can
Maybe we should
see
go to hospitality management.
2 horses, 3 horses altogether, coming down the road, and the back horse, the person on that is carrying like a flag. This time, it's a red flag, with like a blob almost. You can't pick out what the design is on the actual flag itself. And
Anyone
2
know
of the
what that
horses
means?
stop as they get towards you. Who speaks for your party? So says this. He's wearing really ancient looking armor. Yeah, you've not seen humans wearing this sort of armor for ages. It's really old armor. And he wears a red tabard as well. And his shield is red and sort of stuck into the middle of the red shield can only be described as what is. It almost looks like dried skin. A patch of dried skin in the middle of this red shield.
I turn to the rest of the party in the cart and I go, beware. That is a Chevalier of the Song. They are the evilest order of knights. Their cruelty is unmatched.
Of course, Ilmarin can hear none of this, and he gives a deep flourish. I am Ilmarin of Avwan, of the Elven people, and I am here to deliver a message to the Duke.
The sergeant, you basically get ignored, Ilmarin, and the sergeant and this knight ride past you and down
Excellent.
towards the main group.
Rude.
Charming.
Just rude, yeah. I mean,
others right.
Ilmarin just starts swearing in Elitharians, and
The dwarf's gonna laugh at the elf.
Why am I not surprised?
You get close to you, and he sort of circles round the group as the sergeant sort of pulls up. And then he comes to a standstill in front of you.
Do I have the honour of addressing the Duke Sanguinaire?
No. You wish to speak to a knight?
My associate over there, I will say, gesturing towards Ilmarin, wishes an audience with the Duke Sanguinaire to pass on an invitation.
You will all come with me.
Very well.
Please follow. And he sort of trots off.
Okay.
Okay. They ride up
And-
to you, Ilmarin, and ride past you.
Again, I whisper to everyone, I go, they're renowned torturers. Be prepared for any form of treachery.
Nod.
And the group of soldiers fall in behind this knight. And what looks to be like a squire, Hagen, he's only wearing leather armor, and he's carrying this small banner. He's got sort of like a quite bizarre looking helmet, but yeah, his armor is red, even though it looks like leather, but it's a red leather. And they follow this knight, and you follow them, I take it.
This one hasn't demanded we hand over our weapons.
That's a good thing. Let's.
That
Continue.
might not be a good thing.
So,
Because if,
as you get
with all this
further down
talk
the
of
road-
treachery, what happens when he decides?
I would rather we had our weapons if treachery were afoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes holding a sword at the wrong time is a pretty good way of getting killed.
Hey up, lad. I'd not be happy with this either.
I'm not holding.
I'll be
I'm not holding
agreeing with
anything.
the last there.
So you travel about an hour down this road, and nothing seems to have changed. You just seem to be cantering at the front, and you're keeping up with them. And in the distance, you can see the smoke of what looks like campfires, like on the side of a hill, and it looks quite a big camp. It's probably the biggest you've ever seen, and it almost looks like a staging area, Hagen.
Has it got like, fortified wooden pikes and all that sort of stuff
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
Palisades, yeah.
And
Palisade,
as you
that's
get
what, yeah.
closer, as you get closer down the road, there are a big sort of holes been stuck into the ground, and it looks like there's things hanging from them. And as you get closer, it's humans, or what looks like humanoid humans, are hanging from their feet. And it looks like they've been skinned alive, basically.
This is the work of the Chevaliers de Sang. As I told you, they are evil, pure evil.
I must admit, I am surprised that such an order survives inside Bretonia. When chivalry is what they're all about, this is hardly chivalrous.
Unfortunately, it's also what can occur when the nobility have complete control over their land.
So as we're going through the camp, Hagen is trying to make a mental count of, various knightly orders or the total, regiment sizes of the men at arms, cavalry, etc.
Okay. So, you come up to the Palisades and sort of a gateway into the camp. And as you get close to the gateway, the soldiers peel away to the sides, and they sort of circle round and sort of stop themselves down the road behind you, sort of facing you. The knight sort of slows down to your speed and says, you will be expected to hand your arms over at the gate.
And on your word, they will be kept safe and returned to us?
Of course.
And on your word, are we going to be kept safe?
We travel under a flag of parley. I am sure no knight would dare to break his oath.
Indeed not.
I say out loud to Elmarin just to make that point clear, hopefully.
Okay. So your arms are requested from you.
Okay, so given that the knight has given his word, I will trust is a strong word, but hand them over.
You just, there's a bucket brought up. It almost looks like it's been used for other things, but a bucket's brought up and you ask for you to put your weapons in, and then it's just put at the side of the Palisades.
Okay.
I tie my long sword, dagger, and shield to my horse's saddle and go, they're secured.
You wish to leave your beast at the gate?
Yes, I'll leave my horse here. I'll travel with the rest in the cart.
And he climbs down from his horse as well. And his squire climbs down and he leads the two horses off and yours over to what looks like a stabled area.
Thank you for your kindness.
My squire will make sure your horse is well looked after.
I appreciate that, my lord.
So You're escorted through a very large camp. The majority of the force does seem to be infantry, Hagen, but there is a sizable number of mounted soldiers as well. And you don't see any other knightly orders other than the odd red tabarded with the skin device on the front of it. That they seem to be the only knightly figures within, and you're led sort of into almost the middle of the camp, and there's a big sort of nest of tents in the middle, and there's this massive, huge tent in the middle of all these big tents, and you are led there, and the flap is out open to you, and the knight sort of gestures you in. You wish to enter.
Thank you. And I'll walk in.
Okay, you go in, and there's lots of tables everywhere, and there's sort of almost a stage been erected at the far end of the tent, and there's like a more ornate table up there, and two really ornate looking chairs in the center of that table with more chairs either side, and yeah, there's lots of tables and chairs on the actual floor itself as well. If you would like to take a seat, I shall go and have a word with my duke.
Thank you.
Okay, so he disappears at the back of the, and it is very well lit in this tent as well. There's lots of torches everywhere.
Is there
almost,
wine?
yes, yeah, there is wine.
Fabulous. Ilmarin has a glass because it's been a while since he's had a fine wine.
Okay, yes, it does pack a bit of a punch.
Well, I imagine it does.
Yeah.
It's probably not as good as Elven wine, but it's probably a decent replacement.
Better than ale.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, after about 15 minutes, the knight comes back in, followed by what can only be described as almost a half giant. So, clad in really old ancient armor again. But the armor is very sculpted, and you can tell that this is a female knight. And this female knight stands close to 8 feet tall. She's literally a mountain of a human being. And following her in is this very large, almost as wide as he is tall, scruffy bearded, but well dressed man. He's holding what looks like a leg of mutton in one hand, and he sort of sits on one of these big chairs and beckons you over. The big knight sits next to him, rather clumsily, almost. The armor that she wears isn't really meant for like sitting in the chair, but yeah, she makes a good job of sitting down. And the knight stands the other side of him. And then behind you, through the doorway, comes another 10 soldiers, and they stand 5 at either side of the door. I believe one of you has something for me.
I'll look at Ilmarin, given I gave him the thing.
Yeah, and Ilmarin's going to go up, and with a flourish, he's going to bow. I am Ilmarin of the Elven people, and I am here to deliver you an invitation from the Lady Nut at Ubersreich, my lord.
And what is this invitation for, my elven friend?
It's for a ball, my lord. Lady Nat
A ball.
would wishes to invite you to a
So
party.
she is not offering me the city gate keys yet, no?
I not yet, but you know, a ball's a good chance to negotiate.
Please, all of you, approach.
Your lord, I'd like to welcome and introduce to you Johan, the leader of our group.
I will bow. Johan von Erfinder.
Johan, yes? And I am told that you are fluent in the beautiful song that is the Bretonnian language.
I'll respond in Bretonian. I do my best.
He sort of squints at that and
I
almost
do
looks
have
horrified.
linguistics. I am actually very good at
Yeah.
foreign languages.
He's
It's
got,
almost
he knows,
put
like,
on though.
6 languages.
Yeah. Yeah. You are very good. Yes. And who is this lovely lady? And he points towards Carolyn.
This is Carolyn. She travels with us. I will say in Bretonian.
She'll.
Yeah,
bow
you'll
or
understand your
something.
name. But...
Yeah, she'll understand her name. She'll bow or something. Trying to not look. Trying to not look too awkward and failing.
You try. Who is and who is this mighty dwarven warrior we have?
This is Mordek Silverstone. I think I got
I
that
will
name right.
bow.
Yeah, this is Mordek Silverstone of Karak Asgaraz.
Mr. Mordek, do you not speak for yourself?
Stop speaking Bretonian then?
Oh, is he speaking Reichspiel?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. In which case, then, yeah, I would have just kind of looked to him. I wouldn't have responded for him.
I thought it best let the diplomacy be for the manlings, my lord. I'm very good at it.
But diplomacy is for fools sometimes. It is best that men talk to men, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
And you hear a grunt from the rather large knight next to the Duke. I am sorry, madame. So, you wish to come to invite the Duke to a ball? Is it to be a masquerade?
Soiree. I don't think she said anything about masquerade. I'm
No,
not aware that
she didn't, did she?
No. However, we have a signet ring to give you, my lord, and the ball will be 10 days henceforth from now.
9 days
this,
now.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 9 days now.
Signet that you
Yeah.
speak of?
I hand him up the ring.
Yes, Empire silver, I see. Yeah, it's very nice. I shall look after it and bring it with me. So, what is it that you, my friends, do? Well, why have you been sent?
The lady is unable to attend as she's attending other matters. So she requested.
Well, it would be
that-
foolish for a noble lady to ride herself into enemy camp, although we are not enemies as such as yet.
So she asked us to deliver it on her behalf.
You're not assassins, are you?
No, we are not assassins.
And he sort of tears his look away from you and sort of stares at the elf.
The elf just
Are you
grins.
sure that no assassins are in your group?
That's the wrong kind of elf for that kind of thing.
I then Ilmarin then suddenly realised that he's implying that Ilmarin's an assassin. He's like, "Oh God, no! Oh, No, I'm not an assassin,
Oh.
your your lordship. And also, I'd be a very poor assassin if I just walked in here with no weapons, and just let your guys take me prisoner. That would, I highly doubt that's what an assassin would do.
Yes. Right. Now, I am not used to speaking to a group. Who is your spokesman, leader?
I imagine the whole group just looks at Johan.
Which to Johan.
I was tasked, however, diplomacy is not my specialism. Ilmarin here, and I'll gesture towards the elf, he's our envoy.
So he then switches to talk into Bretonnian again. So, my imperial friend, I am a man of sport. I live for the sport. And not that I am calling any of you or your friends assassin, because I would not do that. You have my hospitality, and you are therefore safe within the confines of this camp. And I very much appreciate the gesture of the invitation, and I will be taking that up. But it appears that you can do something for me accepting this invitation, yes?
What would you request of us?
I like to see a good contest, yes? You like a good contest?
Sport was never my thing.
Sport. So, and you will be safe while with us. But for your freedom to travel back, you may choose yourself a champion to fight my champion.
My eyes will kind of unintentionally shift to the rather large woman sat next to him. I trust non-lethal. We did not come prepared for such an event.
You wish a fight in the old ways, in the five finger variety?
Or I would have to discuss it with my companions. However, I would request that no injury were to be done.
I tell you what. Yeah, I am a fair man. You can either choose with weapons or without.
Again, I must request that this is
And
before
I've
any
seen-
injury is made.
I've seen you look at La Dame Latour next to me. Do not worry, she is not my champion. Her standing is far too great for that. I do have another who will champion my cause.
Again, I trust this would be this would stop before injury were made.
Of course.
May I address my fellows?
Of course.
I will turn around. I will basically fill you in on what he's just said.
Well, Johan, that's a load of crap, but I don't think we're going to get out of here alive if somebody doesn't
keeps-
take the...
It keeps smiling at the dwarf.
If only our dwarf was in full plate mail.
Does anyone
Basically
remember that we
naked
don't
for
actually
them.
have any weapons at the moment?
combat
He's
isn't
given
exactly
us the option of fighting without weapons.
Combat is not
Yeah,
my
but he
strength.
didn't say that our opponent would not have weapons. He very specifically didn't say our opponent would not have weapons. He just said you could choose whether to fight with weapons or without. That struck a nerve with me.
Yeah, but we can clarify that. Which of you would volunteer for this? Combat is not my area.
He's still nodding at the dwarf and keeping eye contact with him as he eats his leg of mutton. And those of you watching him, he's got bits of this meat stuck in his beard.
Unless the contest involves lighting up a room.
It's quite a disgusting sight. If he weren't dressed so well, or you didn't know him as a duke, you'd think he was a bit of a homeless individual on the streets.
You have essentially just described Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Just going to point out the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Johan, Johan, you know my life is forfeit to protect yours. So if it comes down to a battle between one of us and his champion to sue for the rest of your peace, I will take the fight regardless of how it ends.
I wouldn't ask that of you. I'm not.
And Ilmarin goes, "It sounds like fun. I'll have a go." not even realizing it's quite dangerous. Like Ilmarin's just like, "Yeah, cool. I'll have a go. It sounds like fun."
Okay.
Shut up, you pointy-eared
Can't be that hard.
wits.
With blades or with your fists?
Oh, with blades, of course.
I'll turn back to the Duke and go,
No. I'll do it, lad. I'll do it. This pointy-eared git will just get himself killed.
Who is the bravest?
I'll
out of
do
the
it.
elf and the dwarf? Yeah.
Do not let this tit
At this
show
point,
us up like that.
you're making Ilmarin like a little bit of myth now. So myths, and Ilmarin's like, I could do it. Dwarf.
You don't even know which side of blade to hold, lad.
Sticking with the pointy end.
It ain't no bow.
I'm going to pull out a penny from my pouch. Right? Seeing as you can't agree, heads, tails. I'll say point heads at the dwarf, tails at the elf, and just flip it.
Okay.
Shall I roll a dice odds? One of them evens the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I want it to be the elf.
I want it to be the elf too.
Okay, odds it's the elf. Evens it's the dwarf.
Damn it. Right, let's do this.
Might not be a merchant by the end of it.
Okay. If you wish, if my champion beats your dwarf to a fight to the death, as you chosen.
We agreed non-lethally.
The elf said he wanted blades.
The dwarf, I believe, has not chosen.
Dwarf, are you not using blades or are you using your fist?
The implication is if you use blades, it's to the death.
I ain't no very good at the old fisticuffs though there, lad.
It's up to you.
I'll be taking a blade. I'll be having me axe.
Okay. Well, tonight you drink and you join us in the party, and then in the morning you will face my champion, yes?
Aye.
And if you wish to make a wager with me, of course I am willing. But,
I'll make a wager with you, my lord.
Yes, you
Your
will
grace.
face the mighty Fang le Masquereur. Yes. He has broken many a man. And maybe now a dwarf.
I be no man. I be a dowie, my lord.
So, tonight we drink then.
Aye.
And he calls to his servants to bring more wine, and we shall leave it there for tonight.
Right, this was a short-lived character.
Well, you wanted to play something different.
And you know, the elf offered.
I believe in you, Dan.
I honestly, in good faith, could not let the elf do that. 'Cause you-
It's the way the elf. It's the way the elf offered, and everybody just sort of went. I'm not arguing. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, can I just state for the record how it was the dwarf that stepped up for the elf?
I know. I was very shocked by this.
I think that's only because you wouldn't let an elf do something that a dwarf wouldn't.
Exactly.
I was willing to throw myself on the sword.
He
but,
was, yeah.
Johan saved me. Thank you.
Camelin is very much in the mindset of that. There's all this sort of posh folk, and then there's the help. So if
Imari just thinks it all sounds rather
if they
exciting.
told her to, she probably wouldn't have a choice. But she ain't volunteering for anything.
So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in and watching tonight. Very much appreciated. Please join again tomorrow. I think it's Traveller tomorrow, isn't it? 9 o'clock.
It is Traveller
Yes.
at 9 o'clock BST.
Yeah, which is another amazing game. And thank you again. I do apologise for me not being completely with it tonight. I'm full of cold and flu, but I very much
I
appreciate
apologise for my
everybody joining.
accent.
Yeah, and I do apologise for my very poor French accent as well. So, yeah,
No, it is outrageously French. It is fantastic.
I love
French was
it.
Bretonian.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Bretonian.
it's exactly. It's not a bad French accent. It's a solid Bretonian accent.
Yeah.
So it's exactly what they sound like.
Your mother smells of elderberries.
Now go away before I
Sorry,
talk to
it's a
that
hamster.
Anyway,
Oh no, we should have done that, shouldn't we?
Don't
But no,
worry.
thank you very much.
We're back to Plutonians next week. It's going to be absolutely fine.
But yeah, join us next week for nearly said it. Mordek's fight.
Mordek's
to the
brutal
death
demise.
or to the wound with the Duke's champion.
Yeah.
You, Dan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night all.
I
Uh,